What is going on, everybody? Back with another video. It is Tuesday. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Hopefully everything is going well. The start of the week has been pretty good, not bad at all. Hopefully the same for you. Over here we talk about gaming and everything under the umbrella, and try to do a video every day, and I try to go live at least once or twice a week. Try to make that more of a habit to do more than 2 lives a week, but we'll see. Oh, also, this channel is also expanding. I am on Rumble as well, so you just go to Rumble, type in VFcast. I should pop right on up, and all that good stuff. I may even put the link down in the description so you can check out the channel. And it's basically an alternative. I may be putting exclusive content over there just to keep the channel, grow a little bit faster, or just about the same pace this one going. Don't want to put the same content over there, but nevertheless, we're going to talk about Doom and everything under that umbrella as far as the pricing and the gameplay. I've been playing a little bit of Doom. The Dark Ages is actually a pretty solid game. I actually like it a lot, and I ain't gonna say it's one of the games I can't put down, but when I do play it, I do have a lot of fun. I do enjoy myself, and I think it's a game that you should try. It's on Game Pass. It's on PC Game Pass, and it easily, like, if you have Game Pass, it's a really good deal to try some of these games. Unfortunately, this game is not selling like the other Dooms were, and I'm a huge fan of Doom, so I expect these games to do pretty well. And there's a little bit of bias in me as well because I'm a big fan of the series, but nevertheless, it's not selling as much as Doom Eternal. And I think the reason why is the fact that it doesn't have as much content as Eternal. It's just a single player game. The physical copy of the game did not have everything on the disc, and also the price of the game is $70. Now, I know a lot of people want to talk about this $80 game price hike, all this other, these games are going up in price, but Doom is a really good litmus test to let you know that, hey, some of these games aren't going to fly at that price point. You got some games that are out now that are $50, $40, $30 that are actually doing very well for themselves. And I think that limit of $60 to $65 is kind of like the going rate for games. Now, if you got a Madden, if you got a 2K, if you got a GTA or whatever the case may be, you can get away with that. And even in some cases, we're going to see about how this Mario Kart World is going to be when that comes out. How that's going to play out at that price point as well. I'm not sure that every single game that drops, even AAA titles, are going to be really good at that price point, because even at $70, Doom: The Dark Ages is not necessarily struggling, but it should have done more than what it's doing. I mean, it's a game that's worth the price of admission, but the admission has to be a reasonable price. So I think if this game was $60, if this game was even, I would say even $50, it would be a deal for a lot of gamers. And a lot of people are starting to realize, like, hey, this price hike may need to be evaluated, because yeah, Doom may be one of those games. It's like, yeah, it's just Doom, but I expect other games to be in the same boat when it's all said and done. You're gonna have other games come out later on this year, and they try the $70 price point, and if it ain't any of those games I mentioned earlier, it could be the same issue where sales going to be lower than expected. And this is another thing. When you look at the numbers, yeah, it could be lower than expected from the consumer, because hey, Doom Dark Ages did not sell as much as Doom Eternal. Yeah, lack of content, those type of things are a factor. But when you look at the scheme of things, from the suits, even if it sold more than Eternal, this could have been a situation where they still may thought that it's not enough. A lot of games, like even you look at Mortal Kombat 1, we talked about that yesterday, the sales of that game was really good, but the DLC had to be gangbusters as well for this company to say, hey, Mortal Kombat 1 is worth, continue to support. Now, this is the thing, these games at a certain price, it's just not enough. Even with the price point of what they have and everything, even if they sell really well, it's still not enough. So it'll probably still be lower than expected. Now, this is why they're probably trying to raise the price of some of these games. This is why Doom is a $70 game. This is why a lot of other games that are new are at that price point. Now, this is what I think. I feel like at the end of the day, they need to be honest with themselves and say, hey, look, we're going to have to eat some of this money. I mean, you're already doing it already. You have to eat some of this money and say, hey, look, we're going to have to take a loss and go back to the drawing board and start making, 60, 50, and in some cases even $40 games. Because if you look at Clair Obscur Expedition 33, that game right there is a $50 game, and it's selling very well. Even an old game like Oblivion, selling very well. That game is $50. So you may need to start looking like maybe this $70 price point ain't what it is. But this is the thing. A lot of these companies are already in a situation where they already stepped in it. And that's the unfortunate part. They stepped in it with these big budgets. They stepped in it with not recouping money off those big budgets. And now they're thinking the only way they can recoup is actually raising the price. And some of these games aren't really selling even at the regular price point. So what do you think is going to happen when it goes up? You're not going to get more sales that way. So a lot of these companies are in a bad situation, and this is why a lot of people say there is a possible crash going to come, because a lot of this stuff is not the GTA of the world. You're not going to be able to get away with that high price. I talked about this before. GTA is like the only company that could have put $20 extra to their games and they would have sold. Even back on the PS2 era, those games was $49.99. They could have sold Vice City for $70. It was that good. They could have sold San Andreas for $70 back then. And people would have bought it, because Grand Theft Auto is that kind of game. This is why now a lot of people are saying that GTA may be the $100 game. And even if it is, that doesn't mean, like I said before, that doesn't mean the Dooms of the world is going to be better at a higher price. That doesn't mean that the Mass Effects of the world will be at a higher price. The Battlefields of the world may be better at a higher price. That doesn't mean that. And Battlefield is pushing it because they probably could get away with it, but the game and the franchise has, it's a backslid so far back, you don't know what to make of that game right now. You know what I mean? So, or that franchise. So you just don't know what you're getting into nowadays, because a lot of companies or a lot of games that used to be, on top, nowadays they're struggling. Look, like I said, look at Doom. Doom is not picking up the slack that they did in their last game. And even if they did, who's to say that would have been enough to be sustainable? Because like I said, a lot of these companies make all this money, and they make a solid bit of sales, and it's still not enough because the budgets are so big. So even though that Doom the Dark Ages is very put together, I think it's a very solid game. I'm having fun with it. It always goes back to price and recoup that you will get back from that game for these companies. Now for us, we're winning, because if you get the game and you have fun with it, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter the price point, really. I mean, you're not going to pay an egregious price, but if you can get a deal on it, then it's worth it. Everybody like to have fun with these games, but there's a limit. Some people are not going to dig deep in their pockets for just the next AAA title. I mean, it is what it is. It may be like 4 games, maybe 4 that can get away with it, and it's GTA, FIFA or FC, 2K and Madden. Those 4 games could get away with going up to $70, going up to $80, and continue to recoup that money back and be able to make a profit. The rest of these games like Doom and all these other AAA titles that are struggling, good luck with that, All right now. But I'm going to get up out of here because it is, I think I'm going to go on a walk instead of just sitting here doing nothing. I think I'm going to walk around and get a little workout in. What y'all think? I think it'd be a pretty good idea. Nevertheless, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all take it easy. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one. I will be live later on this week. Also, the channel on Rumble, I do videos over there as well. Follow me over there as well. I may be putting some exclusive content over there, and I do plan on going live throughout the week. All right, y'all, see y'all later. Y'all be blessed. I'm out. Peace.